If you're someone like me who has struggled with test taking or gets short circuited when it comes to completing tasks or simply being your best when it comes to giving speeches, there is something that I have provided as a tool to support you in navigating those moments and working through them so you can ground your energy, come back to center, and be the best that you can be during those moments when it is required. I want to start by sharing a story of how I discovered this, and it all revolves around my neurodivergency. As a child, I was diagnosed with ADHD early on, and I definitely knew that. But as I got older, I realized that I not only was ADHD, but I was also dyslexic, point in case, and on the spectrum. Would be deemed Aspergerish, touch of the bergs, as I like to call it. But it really allowed me to view my reality from a different standpoint. And understanding this and embracing this has really taught me to view my past experiences, get answers for why it was all happening, and create tools that will support me moving forward, but also support people that are moving through it as well, because I know I'm not alone. So let's talk about test taking. This is when I started noticing my dyslexia. And what I found is as I progressed through school, it got worse and worse. My test taking, my focus, my brain fog. And mind you, there's a lot of things going on in my life. But when I hit college, it was one of those things where I had to work extra hard. I guess hit that ceiling where every neurodivergent can't mask anymore, and I realized I was masking, but I thought it was from an emotional standpoint. I'm a very spiritual person. I was raised in a church home. My dad's a pastor. I'm a pastor's daughter. So for me, spirituality has always been a point of reference for me. And also, as I went through my journey, I also realized that I am a shaman as well. I have a shamanic blood lineage in my DNA on my mom's side. And I've gone on a journey of embracing both, but also embracing science as well. And for me, understanding the energetics is very crucial at this time, not simply because everything is energy, but because we live in an era of technology. And because technology has opened up so many new realms of possibility, it also has opened up a lot of doors that were shut to us energetically as well, which can create a lot of dissonance within the body. Because as you increase the use of technology, that can put a lot of stress on the body. It also has opened us up to more connection collectively, which is a beautiful thing, but also we're taking in a lot of information, a lot of emotions. Emotions can be transferred simply through opening up your phone and going on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And if it's negative or so, like when people watch the news, it can have that negative like energetic impact on your body. So we not only are learning how to navigate a new way of being, we are also navigating possible past stresses because we have so much history at our dispose now. It's uncovering past lineage stuff. And I know for myself, through the use of technology, I was able to discover my lineage of being Caribbean Indian. And that put me on a journey of discovering, genocide, realizing that a lot of the anger I had carried in my body and big energies and emotions were actually tied to my epigenetics and generational trauma, which is something I've worked through and navigated. And what I found as I went through my journey is that a lot of the stuff we're dealing with is not only within the energetic sphere of technology, but also the energetic sphere of emotions, because a lot of emotions, due to the way our society is moved and navigated, we haven't been allotted the time to heal. I believe that. I believe we've been growing, we've been progressing. That's amazing. But we've come to a stand off with ourselves. And you can see it at how crippling so many issues are within our society. And how does this even tie into test taking? How does this tie into stress? How does this tie into the dysregulation of your body? Well, when it comes to your emotions, when you have stagnant emotions in your body, it creates holding patterns. And this holding patterns can then stop the energetic flow of your body. It dysregulates your nervous system. It creates hypertension in the body, which then impedes the flow of your lymphatic system, which then increases inflammation, which then increases more of a warning signal to go off in your body. So not only are you experiencing heavy emotions, but your anatomy is stressed out. Your anatomy is screaming at you to help me, help me. I cannot tell you how many times I would massage people and I could hear their cells. Their cells would communicate with me and talk with me. Your body has so much to say, and we've been taught to disassociate from our bodies. And I believe we're being called to come back into a balance of the mind, body, and spirit. And as we do that, that's going to require looking at the emotions. And for a lot of us, it's not just our emotions, it's what have we taken on from society and what thought forms have we connected into? What emotions are we surrounding ourselves in? And what do we do to protect ourselves so that we can navigate this? Because we cannot ask people around us to heal. We can only heal ourselves. And so on my journey, because I was so sensitive and I realized I was taking in other people's emotions, I was expressing other people's stuff. Because being autistic, I realized I would take in people's emotions, I would feel their pain, and I would verbally express their pain. So a lot of my life, a lot of the stuff that I was experiencing, feeling, wasn't just mine. And that experience led me into some dark places, especially if you are sensitive and you're someone who taps into the collective field. At one point, I wanted to unalive myself. And I'm looking back on it, I realized not only was it because of my emotional hardship, it was my emotional hardships being in a family of divorce and dealing with all those emotions because I was taking them in as well. And then I was also in high school. So hormones are going off the Richter scale. So not only was I in an environment that was extremely energetically volatile, but then you take in someone who at that time, around 13, 15, that's when shamans start stepping into their gifts. I was awakening to these gifts and I had no one around me to help me. It was so overwhelming, and will never forget feeling the earth's pain. And it's not, I don't wish it on anybody, but what I can do is I can provide tools for those who feel it to the varying degrees in which we do, because I believe all humans have the capacity to feel this much. We just have to train ourselves, and our world has trained us not to feel. And you can see that in the toll it takes on our bodies. And how it manifests is different. Some people it's depression, some people it's anxiety, some people it's autoimmune, some people it's cancer. For me, it was Parkinson's, scoliosis, and in navigating, and I call it unthawing myself, my masking. And I believe everyone masks. I don't think you have to be neurodivergent to mask. I feel like we all create a barrier to protect ourselves so we can function. And for some of us, because of the way the world is working, it's not working anymore. And so, what I realized is because as growing up, being this sensitive, you're being called to adhere to a certain social way of being and reaching certain social requirements, especially if you go through school. Academics is so unnatural in my opinion, and it forces people to be extremely competitive. It forces people to be really hard on themselves. Yes, do I love learning? Absolutely. I'm actually someone who loves to, I'm a self-taught person really. And because in my mind, I'm like, what did people do back in the day before there were schools? They would study under someone and they would then become a maestro under their, trainings and apprenticeship and doing. And because we have books, we can learn. And I'm not saying not if you feel called to go to school, absolutely do it. But what I'm saying is, because of the amount of stress that's being put on people to achieve at such a young age, that stress is being put into people's bodies. So if you're a little child and you're in a room full of other stressed out children, you may not realize it, but you may be absorbing and being overwhelmed by other people's stress. Cortisol can be transferred from one person to another. And so if you are a child who is energetically sensitive, that means you observe energies in the room. You may take in that information, because neurodivergence take in 30 to 40% more information, and this varies from person to person. I believe some people may take in more. When you observe the world around you, it's the law of observation. So if you observe observation isn't just through your eyes, it's through hearing, smelling, feeling. And I could feel the energetic waves of emotions. Each emotion emits a different frequency. It's kind of a trip. And as a child, I started studying this. I started realizing that what am I feeling? Because I realized at a very young age, people can speak words, but the words would energetically match something else. And very rarely would I find people that their words matched the emotions that were being emitted from subconsciously. So you could be in a room full of people who seem like they're not stressed out, but they are. And what I found as I got older is my autistic self, if I was in not only in test taking, but if I was in a work environment that was very stressful or home environment, I would rev up and get really anxious, or I'd get really angry. The same can go for being very joyous. If I'm in a room that's contagious with joy, my ADHD goes off the Richter scale. I get super hyper, super encouraging, and just it's a good thing. But it's also, I realize I'm at the woes of the room I'm in. I don't have control over it, truly. So I started asking, how can I get control? And then with dyslexia, when you're in a room full of people who are stressed out, that's emitting energetic charge. And that charge, if you're sensitive, will short out your brain, which means you will have a terrible time focusing on your test. And what is really important when it comes to this is I took this outside of the test taking room, and I took it into areas of like travel or high stress environments. If you are someone who's energetically sensitive, this can short you out. And I noticed that is when I would short out technology. I literally could, when you have a lot of emotional charge, it will short out technology. That's been a part of my journey as an energetic woman who's energy sensitive, also a shaman. There's a lot of different ways I've had to navigate this and learn how to control and work with my energies, because it's not always everybody else, it's also you. And so, what I found is in healing your energetic field and clearing out your density, your reactivity, you can move through this world feeling less reactive. And there's a way you can do this. There's very basic, and then there's deep work. And because I had a lot of stuff I was working through and navigating, and what was being called of me, I know not everyone is called to do deep work. I get that. But if you are, I have an energetic blueprint course which teaches you how to clear your auric field, and then teaches you how to realign your chakra system, both the masculine and feminine, because we have both, which is not talked about. And it's something that I found in clearing out the energetic blockages, my energy field could move with greater flow, which allowed me to have greater energetic protection. It also made my energy field a more vibrant, so other people's stuff would just basically bounce off. Like the sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me. Words can harm you. They carry such an energetic charge, but this way I wasn't picking up on other people's thought forms. I wasn't feeling other people's emotions. As an energy healer and massage therapist, I'll never forget the day where it was after COVID, started working on clients again, and I received a text from this person. I started feeling pain all over my body. I started having fear and anxiety. And because I'm always poking and prodding and trying to figure out what's going on in my body, because I had chronic pain, when I massaged and figured out these pain points, I went to my client. My client had the same exact pain points as I had. The second that I massaged him, my anxiety went away and the pain went away. I was taking on that client's information. I was taking on his pain. So I was like, this isn't helpful for me. How can I get to a place where I'm not taking on people's emotions? Because that's not fair to me. That's also invasive to them. I don't need to know that stuff. And that's when I realized as a massage therapist, I couldn't continue forward with my work because I was enabling people. I was taking on their stuff. And the greatest calling one can do is teach someone how to be their own success. And so that's why I created these courses. But if you're someone who's looking for just a quick introductory into energy healing, a quick introductory into supporting yourself in depolarizing stress as you're going through it, I wanted to create a free resource because I know a lot of people only have access to their phones, they only have access to their iPads, and I wanted to create something that was readily available. And I created a grounding frequency that allows you to ground your energy. You listen to that. And then I created a dyslexia frequency. But truly, what it is it helps to rewire your energetic frequency so your left and right brain are communicating coherently. And I have tested this time and time again, and I found that the dyslexia frequency allows you to ground your energy and to shut out, what's going on around you. And this is something, it's a quick fix. But if you're truly looking to heal your body, your energy, especially if you're someone who's sensitive and you want your autonomy from everyone else's energy, because a lot of us have not been taught how to deal with our emotions. A lot of people don't want to deal with their emotions. So for me, because I was having a lot of the backlash and it was driving me to do things that I was not proud of, I did not like, and I wanted peace and freedom. I for since I was 18 was seeking these answers. And I found it and I created a whole course around it. I was gifted that knowledge by my guides and working with them, and it was just such a beautiful gift because it's allotted me so much peace. Not only that do I not feel other people's emotions, but also it's healed me physically. Have more peace. It's helped me move out of addictions, both chemical dependencies as well as emotional dependencies. And emotional addictions truly are chemical dependencies. This is the deep dive work. But if you're someone who's just looking to support yourself and dip your toes in the energy healing waters, this is where I'd recommend beginning. Because what you want to do before you have your test, you want to listen to the grounding frequency, and then you want to listen to the dyslexic frequency. And this will help you to ground your energy and to help you be regulated. And you can do this before studying. So when you do study, you're actually taking in information. It also will help you if you do it before you study. It's kind of doing that repetition. Do the energy healing frequencies, study for about 45 minutes to an hour, go take a break. Then come back, listen to the frequencies again, ground yourself. So you're actually taking in that information and not wasting your time so you can have more productivity with less work. Sounds good to me. And then your body's geared up to tap into those reservoirs. So if you studied and you listened to the grounding frequency, and then you listen to the dyslexia frequency, it not only helps you to realign your energetic system, it helps to ground your energy, it helps the coherence between the left and the right brain to happen, which allows you to have a better studying pattern. It also will help with recollection. So if you listen to those frequencies before you take your test, you're in that energetic flow that you were already in when you were studying. So it means less study time, better results, and it also means you will be grounded and more readily energetically available to tap into your knowledge reserves that are ingrained in both the right and left brain through the coherency that you experienced. So this will allow you to have better test taking. It also will allow you to ground your energy so you're not feeling other people's emotions, and it's less taxing. Because if you even subconsciously are fighting off everyone else's energy, that's taking away your energy from focusing on your test, focusing on your task, and doing it to the best of your abilities. Because I don't know about you, but I love doing things to my highest to the highest quality and to the best of my I love doing a job well done. I love it. Love it. But I realized that I couldn't do that when I was constantly being bombarded by the environments I was in. And so I knew that moving forward, I can't change people, and I definitely can't change the trajectory in which our world is currently moving through when it comes to technology. So I had to figure out ways so that I could heal my energetic system and strengthen it so that it could withstand the shifts that are not only happening within our society as technology continues to change and grow but it also helps me to navigate the emotional shifts and changes that will be coming up because let me tell you, they will. So if you're someone who's looking to upgrade your studying, do that. Listen to the grounding frequency, listen to the dyslexic frequency afterwards, and then go into your studying. Or you can listen to it while you're studying. If you're a 2-for-1 person, you're a person, who is doing work, if you're someone who is at work and you can't take 30-minute break, you can listen to it while you're working. You can listen to it throughout the day. It's something that you can utilize not only for school but also for your work. It's something that you can utilize to help ground your energy. I did it to help me with recording because my ADHD, I have so much stuff coming into my brain all at once. It helps me to be like, nope, compartmentalize, get things done, and I can do it with such audacity. The audacity to do it done well, the audacity to do it done quickly. It's like pulling a slingshot back and firing off. It's you are the David and whatever you're dealing with is the Goliath, and this allows you to really hone in on that slingshot, take down your Goliath, whatever that is, and know that you have a tool that will support you time and time again. It builds that faith, and it also builds greater reserves energetically, because the more you work with your energetic system, the more you will see, oh, this is all I need to do. Or it may show you, like it did me, I need more. My body needs greater healing energetically. And I've had a lot of stuff in my life to create a lot of disconnection within my body that required deep somatic healing, which energy healing truly is if it's used properly. So I created a lot of different courses. The Energetic Blueprint is the one that helps you heal your energetic systems. I have one for the Meridian. I have a physical support course that helps to release stress of the physical body. And if you would like to get a taste of that, I have the lymphatic drainage or detoxification process, because if you have a lot of toxins in your body, it will create a lot of disconnection as well. So there's that. And also there is a auric field energetic cleanse that is available that you can utilize as well, because I found that on top of the grounding frequencies, clearing your aura every single week is a way just like taking a shower after you've been on a tenacious hike or you've gone camping. It feels so good. That shower is just, it's just so good. It's just one of those moments, you're in heaven. You're like, God truly loves me, is when you take a shower after camping. 100%, 100%. And that's what clearing your aura does as well. And I'm going to dive in deeper around that and why it's important. But when it comes to this grounding, these frequencies are available to you. I have them linked in the description because I wanted to provide this resource to students. I wanted to provide something that can be used now, and also allows you to step into the inner knowing that you have tools that can support you, that to get the best results, you need to be proactive in your life. And I've seen too many times in the healing world that people will pay a fee and they expect you to do the healing for you. Again, that transference of energy. And I believe we're coming into a time where we need to be our own self healers. So I created tools that will allow you to take ownership. And I want to teach you tools that you can utilize in the moment when they're happening. Because you can't call up, your healer and be like, I'm about to take a test. I had this huge wave of emotion. Can you do a healing now? I have 15 minutes. That's not possible. That's not feasible. And that's also not fair to your healer. So many people will call a healer last minute because they're like, oh, fix me. It's not our job to fix you. Not at all. It is our job, I believe, to educate and to inspire. And that's why I'm making all these videos. I want to inspire you, and I want to show you that there's going to be, I believe, an awakening of tools that will really help. And I believe that energetics are a part of that. Energy healing is going to be a part of that. And for me, having studied a lot of different styles of healing, just so I could have some relief, these courses are what really have truly encompassed my, not only my search for an answer, but my desire to create a tool that was readily accessible for the masses. So if you want access to that today to support you in school, to support you in your test taking, to support you in your studies, to support you in your work environments, to support you staying on task, and to support you doing what you need to do, especially if you are an entrepreneur, solo entrepreneurs, where you at? I hear you. If you want to stay on track, and this is coming from the Queen ADHD. Diddity. The D's on D's on D's. That sounded bad, but anyways, this is here for you. And it's linked below in the description. And I'm wishing you much coherence in this coming year. And so if you find these tools to be helpful, I would definitely recommend getting the auric field cleanse and the physical support course. Those are the nice gateways into knowing if you need deeper energy healing work. And I'm going to post more videos describing each of these different systems and what's encompassed in all these different energy healing courses that I have. So you can also be like, let me check this out. Let me learn something. Let me see if this resonates, because I know everyone's on their own journey. Everyone has a different thing. Again, that's why I wanted to offer a tool that was readily accessible alongside other options. But I'm rambling now. So I'm going to get the hell off this video and let you get to it. Again, click the link below to get that free download, and so you can start regulating your nervous system today.